So I play about 6 hours of the new game Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, which I promoted the hell out of it on my page. I gave away 3 copies and I promoted that for months and months and months. I can tell you right now, this game isn't for everybody that is already a fan, but it sure is for anyone that doesn't know anything about Dragon Ball Z and any fans that want to play as a character throughout the anime. That's pretty much how I feel about the game. The game does a good job of adding more to the story with things that we didn't see in the anime, which is awesome. You know, there's a part that we see how Raditz end up on Earth and why, like another piece that we didn't see in the anime. I feel like it really goes out of its way to make sure anyone can play this game, and if there's nobody that has never seen Dragon Ball Z and finishes this game, then they'll be up to date with Dragon Ball Z without watching the anime, which is pretty lengthy, 200 and something episodes. Now, like I said before, this game is not for me. I found myself kind of bored playing this game. I felt like I was playing more because I wanted to know about the game. I was curious rather than being excited. I remember when I bought Xenoverse 1 and Xenoverse 2. I played that game for hours. I was like, wow. I was really disconnected from everything when I was playing Xenoverse 1 and 2. I remember playing Xenoverse and not realizing that my wife had a friend over. She also came over the next day and she told me, hey, I didn't see you yesterday. I guess you were playing. And I'm like, what? You were here yesterday? And she's like, yeah. There's a beep when anybody comes into my house. I didn't hear that. That's how much I was into Xenoverse. The first thing that I noticed about this game is when you have cutscenes, the graphics somewhat look like a downgrade from Xenoverse. At times, they reminded me of PS2, PS3 graphics. But of course, that's exaggerating, but it's just what it made me think because the graphic kind of looked a little off. I don't know, maybe there will be an update or something that can fix that. I'm not sure. It just feels that the graphics are not completely smooth. Now, the fighting style, it has elements from Dragon Ball Legends, which is a mobile game that I play a little bit to get the feeling of not so long ago. The minute that I got my first fight on this game, all I thought about was Legends. It had the same feeling. Of course, it's not like a direct copy and paste and you can move and all of that, but it just felt like a little bit of Legends. I know a lot of people love Legends, so for them that will be a plus, not for me. Also, it feels kind of hard to dodge some attacks. Like, for example, I was fighting Raditz. He was doing his ultimate, and I don't know if maybe I was new. I didn't know how to actually dodge it. I was just blocking his ultimate, but I just find it kind of hard for me to actually get around it. You know how in Xenoverse you can throw your ultimate and it doesn't mean it's gonna land. Not all of them will land, depends on the ultimate. But Raditz was hitting every time. With the time that I put, I got as far as the beginning of Namek. So if you got time to kill, this game is for you. Unless you don't care about the cutscenes, but it's something that you want to see, especially if you never played Dragon Ball in your life or ever seen it before. You have to spend a lot of time in this game. Of course, as we knew before it was released, you have to eat and do a bunch of stuff to power up, aside from just fighting and stuff like that. If you fly throughout the world, you'll see threats with different levels. Those fights will also help you level up. I couldn't beat a level 31 threat when I was 17, obviously. I was with Gohan at that time, but if anyone has done that already in the game, then you are really good. Because when I was using Gohan at that level, I was doing no damage to these robo threats that as you fly through, they appear and they help you level up. If you beat them, you get experience points. Also, at the beginning, I found the controllers kind of uncomfortable, but I'm sure with time that all works out. So it's not something huge. I'm sure with time I will get used to it if I keep playing. It is also nice that I can increase the speed when I fly, but when you're trying to go really far to another part of the world, you have to go into the map, select where you want to go, and then it will load. There will be a loading screen that they will send you there. It's like you getting transported there. And waiting for that loading screen it kind of felt long, and I'm not the only one. I have seen people saying that it felt long, and for a PS4, it should. I think it should look quicker. But this is a huge game. It's like, I don't know, 40 something gigabytes, and different parts of the world will be unlocked as you progress throughout the game. Now, they're also a little inconsistent when you're interacting with other characters that can talk with their original voice. But then in other parts of the game, you have to read instead of them talking to you. And I'm like, why? Like, through most of the game, they can talk to you. So why in some parts you have to read? It's like, did they add this after, and they didn't have time for these people to record the voiceover? I don't know, but I'm like, come on, like, you have all this dialogue, but all of a sudden you can put that. Now, the truth, for me, this game isn't for me now. I returned it. I might get it when it's $20, but for now, I'm going to buy Dragon Ball Fighter Z and see what that game does for me. Now, this is just my opinion about this game. It does not mean that the game is bad for everybody, but at least for me, it is not. I have rewatched Dragon Ball Z many times. I play Xenoverse, which shows me the entire timeline in different ways. I have no interest in seeing it again, even if I'm going through it. And like I said, the graphics, they need a little bit more work. I'd rather play C Fighter C 2D game based on what I've seen than this game at this moment. Now, how do you guys feel? At least for me, like I said, the game is just not for me. But let me know how you feel in the comments.